Hey, and welcome back to the Brickazoid's Den. Today, I'm going to be doing a ranking video on every open world in the Skywalker Saga. This is probably going to be a long video, so I'm going to try and keep it as short as possible while also giving my full reasons why I put a certain planet at a certain spot on this list. Again, I'm going to be ranking all, 24 planets? Yeah, 24 planets that you can visit in this game, from 24 to the best, and there are a lot of interesting ones on here. Um, I won't obviously give any spoilers for the list, but I think my list is pretty interesting, I'd say, because I've been seeing a few other lists from other people who have played the game, obviously, and I'm seeing a lot of, I'm not going to say the same stuff, but like I'm seeing, there's like this certain planet is at this spot a lot, and this certain planet's at this spot a lot. So you know what I mean. But I'm feeling a little different with my list here. My list is a little bit different because these are just planets that I really enjoyed exploring personally. So yeah, I mean I'm excited to get into this. So why don't we get going right now? Number 24 on the list here is a planet that isn't even explorable in the game, but it still counts as one, and that is Kijimi. So Kijimi is out of here immediately at number 24 because, again, counts as a planet to explore, but there is literally no open world when you visit there. I mean, there's even nothing in Kijimi space. Like, you can go there and there's nothing there. So that is why it's at number 24. But again, it still counts. I mean, I wouldn't even count this one. I would say this is like an outlier planet, but it counts as a planet on the holo map as one of the 24. So that is why it is number 24. Is because there's nothing there. There's literally nothing there. It's just a level, basically. You can go to a level for Kijimi, and that level is basically what Kijimi would look like if it was an open world, so I guess that's fine. But it was a cool level, but I still don't count it because it doesn't count as a full-blown open world. So yeah, no, this is definitely going to be number 24 here, because there's literally nothing there. Nothing there. This planet on the list here is number 23, of course, and this planet is Crate. Yeah, so I guess for our first actual open world planet, I am not a fan of Crate in this game. Very bland open world. It's just like the cave area. No, you can't really go like to the outside. I don't know, what was it, like actual like red white salt area. You can't go out there. You have to stay inside the like rebel base where all the crystals are. Just really bland and boring cave kind of place. All like the red crystals. Every room that you can go in on this planet is just like another mini cave with a bunch of red crystals, and it is just so boring to me. That was definitely the planet that I had the least fun exploring while I was live streaming it, looking for all the collectibles and stuff like that. At that point, I just wanted it to be over because it was just so annoying and just kind of like just a problem. Like it was just super boring, and there was nothing too crazy, nothing too interesting going on this planet. So that's why it's at number 23. For number 23 on the list here, we have Utapau, and this is basically where you go to Pau City and explore there. It's a very vertical kind of open world, and it looked, pretty cool in the game. Like, it looks cool. It's a nice design. There's, like, some pretty cool places you can go. But I was really not crazy about exploring it all. A lot of the side missions were kind of boring and stuff like that. Just, I don't know. This planet, Utapau, was just really, it was vertical. It was kind of, like, tough to navigate at times. Like, I was trying to figure out a way to get up to different places, and it just kind of took me a quick minute to find it. And I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining about like the difficulty of the open world, but I don't know. It just wasn't like my kind of open world. I feel like I just want to be able to explore it properly rather than having to like kind of struggle a little bit to find a way up to a certain point that would be like considered a main spot. Um, the interior areas weren't anything notable, and overall, I'd say Utapau was kind of a relatively small open world, which was fine by me because I really wasn't feeling it with this one. But it's still cool that it was included. Still completely cool that it was included. Just not my cup of tea, I guess, basically. Number 21 on the list here, we have Geonosis. Overall, really bland geography, but they did a good job of representing Geonosis, as it isn't the most interesting place compared to others. I enjoyed the interior areas with like some of the droid factory kind of stuff, which was pretty cool, as well as that clone trooper side mission where you had to fight the Nexu Reek and the not wait no Nexu Reek and whatever the other thing was called. We had to like fight those things again to save some clone troopers. That was pretty cool. I wish you could explore Count Dooku's castle a little bit, but I understand they didn't do that because they had basically a level already to explore that, so that made sense there. But yeah, I don't know. It was just really bland area to kind of explore, It was mainly just kind of like rocky areas that weren't too interesting, in my opinion, to really go around and look at. Again, the interiors were pretty cool, like the droid factory looking areas. There was like a shower place, which was kind of funny, although completely destroyed my. A lot of the interiors completely destroyed like the what was it, frame rate on my game. Like just absolutely demolished the frame rate. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, overall, Geonosis is going to be at number 21 here, just because of how boring really the geography of the planet really is. For number 20 on the list here, we have Basana. Very simple desert, rocky kind of planet, which is pretty well done for what it is. But the festival is a nice small area. The caves are also are a nice small area. But the rest of the deserty area just kind of feels similar to all the other desert areas that we gotten, very bland. Again, the festival area is pretty nice. You get to talk to a lot of people, or a lot of the, whatever they're called, the Pasana locals. And those guys were pretty fun to talk to, and just kind of explore that whole festival area was pretty fun. But again, it's a lot of just like, there's some high up rocks. That's where you gotta get your kyber bricks from. There's, all the sands area. And then there's, you go to the other area, which is where like the was it Pasana Plains, I think it's called. And there's, more sand, more desert area. And then there's also the caves. This is probably the worst kind of desert planet in this game, I think, in my opinion. There's the other desert planets of this game I think are much better. But yeah, Pasana's at number 20. For number 19, I put on here Dakar, and I have seen Dakar as like one of the planets that were maybe not most people's favorite. And I guess I can agree here. It's at number 19. Very simple area, with different hangars that you can explore to get collectibles, but it's nothing crazy. I mean, other than that, there's mainly just a wide open, empty-ish area with not too much going on besides those hangars. You can kind of go to the forest a little bit to do like a side mission or something, and then you're done there. And then again, the hangars, you just basically go into hangars to get collectibles. You can go into like the meeting room, but there's nothing too much going on. I'd say this is a better representation of Dakar than the Force Awakens video game did, because that was a much smaller version of the planet. But yeah, this one was just very empty, I think, which of course it's a hangar, so I guess it makes sense. But it's just very empty-ish, not very interesting kind of place to explore compared to some of the other planets on this list here, or in the game in general. For number 18 on the list here, we actually have another Resistance hideout area, which is, of course, Agent Kloss. This place is a little bit more interesting than Dakar, but does kind of have a similar forestry area vibe where the Resistance hides out, of course. The small Tantive 4 area is pretty cool, though, seeing the Tantive 4 kind of like, I don't know, what would you say, I guess parked in this like little cave was pretty cool and fun to explore, as well as that Claude mission. That was pretty great, going to Exegol and doing that mission for Claude was just kind of funny, because of course Claude is just like a silly character, honestly, in Star Wars, in the movie. So yeah, I mean, again, it was mainly just like there was a grotto, there was some caves, there was like a waterfall. It's mainly just forestry area. Then you get like a second level of forestry area, and then you get the Tantive 4 kind of cave. And I think that was, again, the Tantive 4 cave was the most interesting, because you actually got to see that ship. But other than that, nothing too crazy going on here. Again, gave me some of the Dakar forestry vibes a little bit, but nothing too interesting that I can really write home about anywhere. For number 17 on the list here, we have Dagobah, one of the smaller open world areas in this game, but it does have some pretty interesting stuff going on with it. Creatures that fly down and attack are kind of interesting, a little bit unique. The Dark Side Cave area has a cool puzzle, and the swamp area was generally unique. Again, this is a smaller area of the game. I'd say one of the smaller open worlds here. And again, the Dark Side Cave was actually pretty cool, fun to explore, and again, very good puzzle there. And the swamp area, like I previously said, was also a pretty unique area, and it was fun to explore. I mean, you were able to get, I think, I was going to say you were able to get the X-Wing there, but I don't think you were. Because it was like, I know there was a vehicle out on some like boxes, but I take that back. I don't think you were able to get the X-Wing there, never mind. But yeah, overall, exploring Yoda's hut as well was very small and simple, little interior area, but it was still nice to have it be designed in this game. I'm glad that Dagobah was a part of this game, and that's really about it. I mean, again, it was just a completely fine open world. There's nothing wrong with it, but there's nothing crazy about it. It's just a small, nice little area, basically. Next up, for number 16, we have Endor, which is a very vertical open world, which made it a little bit tough to navigate to find collectibles, but it was populated well with the Ewoks. Talking to them was cool, but again, that navigating the area was kind of tough for me. I mean, there was like zip lines, there was like a really long ladder, and you had to like run around. You had to go up, what was it, like ramps and stuff like that, and just it was very tough. When I saw a kyber brick out in the distance, I'm like, oh, I gotta go grab that, and then walking and walking, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not even on the right level of this vertical open world. I'm gonna have to go all the way back here to go back up, and then it just became a mess. I think I was there on Endor for a little bit trying to figure out just different ways to get kyber bricks and find my way through the area, and especially when using the map, like the actual map on your hollow projector. Um, it was very tough to find kyber bricks on that hollow projector map because the area was all made of like different floors of the vertical open world. So overall, it was very tough to navigate, but it was still a very cool, unique area. For number 15, we have Hoth, and I wouldn't even count this one as Hoth because my biggest problem with this planet is that we can only go to Echo Base. We cannot actually explore the snowlands of Hoth. So considering we can only go to Echo Base, it is a bit disappointing because Echo Base is kind of empty, with it just being a hangar and then those like hallway areas and then like the meeting area. Nothing too crazy going on. This is a planet that I kind of wish maybe had a second area to it, kind of like some of the planets in this game. You can go to like a different spot, and in this case, you'd be able to travel between Echo Base and also the snowlands of Hoth. You can go out and find like different, I don't know, snow piles to destroy for studs. You can also take down some probe droids, right? Yeah, probe droids. You can use tauntauns to kind of run around through the snowlands and stuff like that. You could like get collectibles from like a broken down AT-AT or something. I don't know. There was a lot of stuff that I think that they could do for the snowlands of Hoth, but we only got Echo Base, and for that it wasn't too interesting of a place to really explore. And again, it was a little bit disappointing, little bit. For our number 14 here, we have another planet that's just kind of like good, very similar to Dagobah. It's just kind of like there's nothing wrong with it, but there's nothing too crazy about it either. And for this one, it is number 14, which is Yavin 4 base, which of course is the Rebel base. This planet is pretty good. I like the temple that you can keep climbing to get collectibles, and the bottom floor is pretty cool too. With you get to see some like ships and some different places. You get to go to like the different ruins of Yavin 4, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with this planet, but there's nothing too exciting about this planet either. I like that there's the 100% completion award place on Yavin 4, which I still haven't gotten yet at the time of this recording. Maybe when this video comes out, I would have already gotten it, but who knows? But yeah, no, this planet is it's very just good. It's just there's nothing wrong with it. Again, nothing wrong with it. Nothing great about it. I mean, except for that Death Star mission. I guess you're able to get the Death Star the Death Star missions activated on Yavin 4, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's really about it. So for number 13, unlike Pisana, this desert planet is pretty well done, and this planet is Jakku, with all the crashed ships as well as Nima Outpost, and also the smaller area of the Tunal, I think it is, village, is cool as well. This is, of course, like I just said, Jakku, and again, this planet is pretty good. This is probably this is my second favorite desert planet. I think you could probably already guess what number one is going to be for the desert planets. And again, the crash ships for scrapping, scavenging, whatever you want to call it, going through the destroyed Star Destroyer was pretty cool, as well as going to raise knocked over AT-AT on Jakku was very cool to look at. And then also all like the different engines and the ship parts that were all over the place to grab. And then of course Nima Outpost was a bit of a small area, but it still represented well in this game, just like the movie. And then of course, like I also said, that Tanal Village area was also pretty cool as well. But yeah, this is definitely one of the better desert planets and one of the better planets of the game. One of my more interesting planets. Sorry, I'm going to cut that out. Number 12 on the list here, we have Takodana. This is, I think, my favorite forestry kind of planet out of all the forest planets in this game. I mean, what I mean by that is like, Endor I would count as a forest planet, Agent Kloss, those kinds of areas. I think Maz's Castle is so much better than is so much better than I expected, as you can go to all the different floors of Maz's Castle, which, the Force Awakens? Yeah, the Force Awakens video game didn't really do. You could mainly only stay on, like, I think it was the first and then the basement floor of Maz's Castle, I think. I gotta actually replay that game. But Now you can actually go to all the different floors of Maz's castle. You can explore the outside of Maz's castle completely, as well as go to some of the forest area. So I would say this is definitely one of the cooler forest planets, as well as just exploring Maz's castle is also very cool to me. And yeah, it's just really well done overall. For number, what is this, 11 now? Yeah, I'm 11. I put down Mustafar. Super great planet. I like the mining complex area, which of course makes up most of this planet, and the lava flowing throughout the planet. This was probably one of the planets that I was most looking forward to exploring, and I'd say it held up pretty well. I mean, obviously, they mainly just pulled areas. Whoops, sorry, just bumped the mic. Pulled areas straight from the movie, and that completely makes sense to me. One thing though, I feel like maybe if they were to add something, they could add like the kind of forest-looking area that the Rise of Skywalker showed Mustafar as. When Kylo was fighting all the Mustafarians, he was like in this like forest kind of area. I think that could have maybe been kind of a cool little area to add. But of course, what we have here is straight from the prequel trilogy, and I do really enjoy seeing it. Of course, the lava, like I said, flowing is really cool to see, and going throughout the whole mining complex, basically where Anakin and Obi-Wan fought, was very cool. You're able to explore that, get the collectibles, things like that. So overall, Mustafar is definitely a great planet to explore. For number 10, we have Kashyyyk, and I put it up here at number 10, not only because I like it, I do like this planet a lot, but also because it surprised me pleasantly. I actually thought from what the footage was on the trailers that we were only really going to get that whole beachside area and then a few of like the buildings in the back, and that was kind of be it. It would be kind of like almost like a 2D almost. Well, not 2D. That wouldn't be the best way to describe it, but I think you kind of understand what I mean. Like kind of like just like a the rest of it would be background, kind of like the rest of the buildings, the rest of the beach would be backgrounds, and we'd only be able to explore one side of the beach and then like a few of the buildings. But no, actually, we were able to explore the full beach side, full beach area. Then you kind of go towards the middle and you see some more green and get to explore the buildings completely. So overall, Kashyyyk just really surprised me, and I'm really happy with how it came out in this game. Going up Kashiro, you have all like the Wookiee buildings and things like that. All the Wookiees are around to talk to. Again, very, very well done planet. Number 9 could be a not controversial one, but basically what I mean by that is I've been seeing that a lot of people haven't really been too crazy about this planet, but I really, really enjoyed it. This would be the first planet that I actually explored on my live stream, and that is Exegol. From what I know, again, like I said, people don't really like this planet too much, but I really love it. I think it is super unique where you start on the outside, and like the actually seeing the temple, and then you kind of walk under it, you go to the elevator, and then into the Sith Citadel, and I really liked that idea. Side missions I do want to mention here because they are some of the probably some of my favorite side missions in the game. You get to make snow clones, meet Gonkatine, which was pretty cool, and also rebuild the Emperor's throne. That stuff was pretty cool to me, and I really do like that. But yeah, no, overall, Exegol, I really enjoyed it. I thought this was one of the best planets in the game, as you can see by putting it at number 9 here. It was just, I like the whole vibe of it. It's very dark. I like the whole outside area, and then you go into the Sith Citadel, like I previously said. Overall, really love this planet. For number 8, I put down Kamino. This planet was amazing, start to finish, with the cloning facility buildings and all the clone troopers walking around to talk to. Gave me Battlefront 2 vibes. Really loved it. I mean, again, those clone troopers walking around with all the different colors to represent like their different factions and different groups. I think there was like a 501st trooper there. There were some, I don't know, all different kinds of stormtroopers there. And I mean, not stormtroopers, clone troopers there. And I am a big fan of any kind of clone trooper. So again, this planet was just like perfect for me. The Kaminoans were also cool to talk to. We met the Kaminoan Jedi as well, but there was like a side mission with him. Also, what is it, Tonway, and then what was, I don't remember the main kind of Kaminoan person who kind of owns the cloning facilities, but you also got to go to Jango's room, got to see some Jango Fett memorabilia and stuff like that. But again, overall, this whole planet was just really, really great start to finish for me. For number 7 on the list here, we have Ahch-To, and I really love this planet, even though it is kind of on the smaller side. I mean, there is like the whole, there's obviously like the main kind of floor of this planet, and then you can kind of go up to like the mountains and temples and stuff, which is cool, but it is still kind of on the smaller side a little bit. It is a very cool island area, and I love the whole like mirror cave room. That was really cool puzzles, very unique puzzles, and we got to kind of go there twice, once in the story mode and then once in when you kind of go to the open world and you jump back into that area, you get to do like a little challenge for a kyber brick. So that was very cool. Again, the mirror cave room is very cool. There was this porg mission that was a bit annoying where you had to kind of escort porgs individually around the island back to this porg keeper. So that mission was a little annoying, but this whole planet was very nice to explore. Just, I don't know, I was very excited for it when the trailer footage, and I definitely was not disappointed. I think the water looked really nice again, and just, again, the whole island area was very, very nice. So I would say Occ 2 is definitely deserves number 7 here. For number 6 on the list here, we have Kef Burr, and really, I didn't know what to expect for this planet, but I was really, really, really hoping that it was going to be good. Because, of course, the Death Star 2 ruins are here. And with everything that I've seen from this planet and exploring it completely, this did not disappoint. The landing crash site area was fun, with a small kind of village area around that you can kind of explore, which, made sense. There was some stormtrooper or ex-stormtroopers living there, so they maybe made a village, stuff like that. I don't think that was ever a place that we really saw in the film, though, but still, very cool area to explore. The whole, crash site was nice. But the main draw for this planet was the absolutely incredible Death Star 2 ruins area of the open world that I love to explore. This was, again, definitely the highlight of this planet for me. Very, very cool area to explore the entirety of the Death Star ruins and just kind of, explore, basically. That's the best way to describe it. You're just exploring this area, and it's a very, very cool place to be. So, yeah, that's why it is at number 6. For number 5 on the list here, we have Bespin, actually, or Cloud City, whatever you want to call it. This planet was not what I was thinking it was going to be like. I thought this was going to be a similar layout to kind of like Battlefront 2's Cloud City, where mostly the open world is taking place, or the area is taking place with the inside buildings, more the interior area rather than the exterior. But again, with this planet, we were actually more on the outside, more on the exterior, which is interesting. And it was kind of like a place in Cloud, or area of Cloud City that I didn't really understand existed. That there was like a whole, almost like plaza kind of looking area that we saw, and then obviously we had some of the interior buildings, but it was mainly outside. And I gotta be honest, it was super well done. It was again something I didn't expect, but I was like pleasantly surprised when I was like walking through, and I'm like, oh man, why are there all different floors to this planet? And then I noticed that it was like we're outside the whole time, and I'm like, oh man, that's pretty cool. So yeah, Bespin is at number 5. For number 4 on the list here, and this one might be a surprise to many people here, and that is Cantonica. Surprisingly, again, this is one of my favorite sequel trilogy planets, where we have this great city-like place with these alleyways, these streets, these shops, these like the lighting and everything. You have like archways going across, like, or bridges to different buildings and stuff like that. Really nice aesthetic, very nice vibe to the whole area. Very city-like, and I really liked that. But we also got the casino area, where you climb upwards of you climb up the Canto Bight to reach this casino area, which is also very well done. I also want to highlight the Mama the Hut side mission with Cy Snoodles. You have to like hunt down Cy Snoodles, and then you get Mama the Hut. And again, very, very cool planet. Really, really well done in my opinion, and one of my favorites clearly because it's at number 4. Casino was really cool. The whole vibe of Canto Bight was very cool. And yeah, there's nothing more to say about this planet. It is just really, really great. The next 3 planets were probably all, predicted because, they're probably the biggest planets of the game here. And we'll start off with number 3, and that is Naboo. What a gorgeous planet. I mean, the entirety of Theed looks beautiful with the buildings and everything, basically. Like the whole river going down, the bridge to the other area of Theed. Then you have Lake Peo Noga, I think it's called, which is a nice little area. You can kind of go to like the what was it, like the ruins or like sacred area of the Gungans. And then you can also go down to the Gungan City, of course, which is also great supporting areas to the main area of Theed. Add some uniqueness to the planet of Naboo. Again, Gungan City was really, really well done. It was much bigger than I expected it was going to be. There was a lot of like, you can go to like the different bubble areas. There was some, there was all like the lights. There was all the Gungans around. And as well as again back to Theed, very nice city-like area with a very cool Aurra Sing side mission that I remember from playing on live. I think, yeah, there was an Aurra Sing mission there. You had to like hunt her down or something. But again, I'm not going to ramble here. Naboo is at number 3. It is really, really cool. Next up on the list here, at number 2, we have Tatooine. I mean, Mos Espa, Mos Eisley, the Junlin Wastes are very large areas that have so much going on all at once, and it was great. This game was able to make a desert area one of the most interesting places in the game. Plus, Crate Dragon fight was pretty surprisingly cool. Let me go through all this. Again, Mos Espa, Mos Eisley, Junlin Waste, so much happening. The Junlin Waste was literally basically just the open desert planet with all like the caverns, the caves, the rocky areas, and they made it so interesting. Well, Tuscan villages, the Jawa village, all the Womp Rats everywhere, the Jabba's Palace. I wish you could kind of go into Jabba's Palace, but there's already a level where you go to Jabba's Palace, so I guess it's fine. But so much happening. Mos Eisley, Mos Espa are represented beautifully in this game with like all the buildings, with the same structures. You know, you have Mos Eisley's kind of taken over in some places by the Empire. You have to kind of liberate it from the Empire, open up different gates that the Empire set up. The Cantina. I mean, there again, I could go on and on and on about Tatooine, but I will stop here now because I don't want to make this a 75-hour-long video. So, again, very cool overall. Tatooine is definitely number 2 on this list here. Number 1 on the list here, you probably guessed it, it's Coruscant. This is probably the biggest area in the game, or that actually might go to Tatooine now that I think about it a little bit more, but both the Federal District and the Uskru District are perfect. The Uskru District has like the whole underground of Coruscant, basically. You know, you find some bounty hunters there, you can go to like the club and everything like that, and Dexter's Diner is really cool. Like, all these different places in that district are very, very nice. Then you go to the Federal District, and it's a completely different feel, much more high-class kind of people there, and just a really cool area overall to explore, and it's a very large area as well, with all the different taxi areas to go to different places on Coruscant. And then, of course, I want to talk about the Jedi Temple and the Senate Building. The Senate Building, basically just Palpatine's office, is very, very well done, very well represented in this game, straight from the films. And then, of course, the Jedi Temple is very cool as well. You can go to the Archive Room, the main kind of like Jedi Council room. All the rooms are very cool in the Jedi Temple. And just the Jedi Temple overall is very nice area to be at. But yeah, I mean, all the areas on Coruscant are literally perfect, and that is why it's at number 1. Of course, it had to be at number 1. So there you guys have it. That is my ranking for all the planets in LEGO Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. There are just so many planets to this game that all my little, not even criticisms, but like my little things that I noticed are just, you know, they're not detrimental to the game. It doesn't make me hate the game. It's just kind of like little things that I'm like, oh, maybe they could have did this, or maybe they could have like changed this a little bit. But that is, I wouldn't even count that as a complaint, because there's so much going on with all these planets, and all the effort and hard work that they put into these planets, as well as the entire game overall, is incredible. So if you enjoyed that video, do the common YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later.